children of all ages. Stay-Word Network proudly brings to you Cards Subject to Change with Hassel. So, this week right here, we're going to do something outside the norm. I done a fan poll and you guys voiced your opinion. Now, a small disclaimer. I done the poll. Cena turning heel was the winner, hands down, at the time. The disclaimer is Sting as the third man pulled ahead after I started prepping for this show. So next week we will do Sting as the third man of the NWO. So stay tuned for that one there. But this week we're going to do something outside the norm. Typically we do history, courses of history being changed. This week we're not. We're going to do a current storyline because as Triple H says, the WWE is then, now, and forever together. So we're going to do one that's now. And now would be, what if John Cena turns heel in his final run in the WWE? Now, I know a lot of you people are out there saying by Hassel, John Cena would never do this. He's got the Make-A-Wish kids. He's got the little ones to look after. But let's be honest, people. John Cena is not a foolish man. John Cena was atop of the mountain for a long time for a reason. He watches. He sees the crowd move. He was ready to turn a few years back and didn't. Vince talked him out of it. Well, Vince is not here any longer. Not only that, he's smart enough, he saw The Rock transcend into the final boss last year and become the hottest heel in pro wrestling and the hottest segment in pro wrestling. And then what happened on Netflix? Just like that, The Rock's a good guy again. Smiling, hugging, and kissing babies. So Cena's a smart enough man to know he can do this. He can go one way to the other. No problem. So he is turning heel in ours. So let's kick this off. We are entering into, we hadn't even approached Elimination Chamber in real time. So that's where we're going to kick off at, the Elimination Chamber. So John Cena is in the Elimination Chamber. He called his shot. He pulled the Babe Ruth. What if on the night of the Elimination Chamber, John Cena headed into the matchup, he cuts an emotional promo and he tells everyone that he knows he can't do this much longer. He knows this is his final stretch and this is a win or go home type matchup for him because he's got to be in the main event at WrestleMania. He's got to have that one more time to shine, to be the man because, hey, it's what's best for business. Going into the matchup, John Cena would draw the fortunate straw and be the last entrant in the Elimination Chamber. Now, is this by design or a happy coincidence? Maybe we'll find out later. But what if, when John finally emerges from his pod, he makes it to the final three with Seth and Damian Priest? Now, during this time, Seth and Damian Priest would kind of be going back and forth, and Seth would get distracted with Damian getting the schoolboy win over Seth. Now, this would enrage Seth. This would not sit well with the architect. And he would not only put a pedigree, but a curb stop on Damian Priest, and then look at Cena and say, he's all yours. Cena, pulling a page out of Edge's playbook, becomes the ultimate opportunist at this point. He doesn't care how he wins this match. It's Elimination Chamber. Everybody's a heel. So John Cena puts the 5-knuckle shuffle on him. He couldn't see him. Attitude adjustment. 1, 2, 3. Winner of your Elimination Chamber, John Cena. Now, John Cena is still a face at this point. So what if on SmackDown this week, he goes down to the ring, celebrating, happy, tickled to death. He is telling the world how he is going to WrestleMania to face Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship, where once again he will be able to tell you that SmackDown after WrestleMania that the champ is here. What if at this point the lights go out and we hear that familiar boom, boom? Wrestling has more than one royal family. Kingdom starts playing. Cody comes down there looking and shining like only he can in his 3-piece suit with the Undisputed Championship. Cody looks at John and congratulates him and tells him he was a fan once upon a time and it was always an honor to share the ring with him back in the day when he was a rookie. But he's no longer a rookie anymore, and he's the man around here now, and John is the challenger. But he tells John to bring his A game to WrestleMania because he wants to let him know that his A game will not be enough and the Nostalgia World Tour will be over at WrestleMania. They have an intense stare down at this point, fading to black. What if later in the night we get a backstage segment where you see Seth Rollins and John Cena off in the corner talking? As the camera approaches, all you can hear is Seth telling him, "Think about it, John. What if? What if over the course of the next few weeks leading into WrestleMania, because there is a bit of a gap between the Elimination Chamber and Mania, John starts picking up a series of wins, trying to reestablish himself as a true contender and let everyone know why he is still the man around here. They call him the GOAT for a reason, people. What if? So what if over the course of the next few weeks, John picks up a series of wins over The Miz, Carmelo Hayes, even Damian Priest. However, in the matchup against Damian Priest, what if Drew McIntyre maybe gives a little assistance, setting up a match at WrestleMania with Drew and Damian Priest? We know they got heat from the Royal Rumble. Makes sense. Why not? What if the week of WrestleMania, on the go-home edition of SmackDown, Cody Rhodes comes out to the ring and tells John, he said, "John, I want Big Match John at WrestleMania. You better bring everything you got because this is going to be a no-holds-barred match. I don't want to give you any excuses. The rules won't hold you back. I want to see that man that used to have all this ruthless aggression." At which point John Cena comes down and tells him, "You know, Cody, I may not be as good as I once was, but at WrestleMania, I'll damn sure be as good as I ever was." What if? What if on night 2 of WrestleMania, we finally get the matchup, Cody versus Cena? After 2 amazing entrances, because let's face it, it's WrestleMania, people. They're going to have glorious entrances. What if after their entrances, they enter into a great back and forth matchup? It's going all over the place, and they're doing really well. But the longer in the match it goes, let's just be honest, Cody has the youth factor. John, with all his experience, he's doing everything he can, but he's got wear and tear. He has a little ring rust. He is a little long in the tooth, so to speak. So as the match goes on further and further into the deeper waters, Cody's starting to slowly pull ahead. What if at this point Cody then finally hits the crossroads? He covers Cena for the 1, 2, but wait, the ref is yanked from the ring. Cody's in disbelief. What the hell's going on? He looks up and there stands 2 hooded men who beat the living hell out of Cody at this point, then feed him to John Cena for an attitude adjustment. Cena looks down in disgust at Cody and says, "No, one won't do." Cena picks him up again with a second attitude adjustment, covering Cody for the 1, 2, 3. And as the Fink used to say, and new WWE Champion, John Cena. What if? What if that week, when we stand here looking at the 2 hooded men trying to figure out just who the hell they are, they disappear, vanished just as quick as they appeared, leaving us to wonder. So what if that week on SmackDown, John Cena comes down to the ring, and he does not come down to the ring listening to the music of the Doctor of Thugonomics. His time is not now. You can't see him, none of this stuff. He comes down to a chord that we haven't heard in quite some time, Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix. Now this will leave the people kind of curious, especially as John Cena is coming down to the ring in a totally black 3-piece suit, looking like the star that he is. I mean, let's face it, people, this man is now a Hollywood star. He is not the Doctor of Thugonomics, wearing the jerseys, the hats, the works, no more. John enters the ring and looks at the people in disgust. He's not smiling. He's not his jovial self that you usually get. No. At this point, John is stone-faced serious. And John looks at him and tells him, "For years, I used to come out here and hug babies, smile for the camera, smack all the hands, do the Make-A-Wish, hug everybody, tell you to say your prayers and eat your vitamins like Hogan used to tell you, with your loyalty and respect. And where did that ever get me? You people were just as quick to cast me aside for the new thing, Cody Rhodes, just as quick as I went to Hollywood. So you know what? The hell with you guys. I am the GOAT, John Cena. I am your first 17-time world champion. Something the Nature Boy never even done. You will call me the GOAT, and you will respect me. I will show you all why I stood alone on the top of the mountain for over 10 years. At this point, Cody's going to come down to the ring shaming John. Tell him that if he hadn't had some help at WrestleMania, there's no way in hell that he would have won. What if? What if at this point Cody challenges him to a rematch at Backlash, which John smiles and agrees to? But before Cody could get his little measure of revenge that he wants to try to do, the two hooded men jump into the ring once again, beating the hell out of Cody, this time bloodying him. Then, out of nowhere, they unrobe, and it's none other than Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins sporting NWO shirts, and then hand Cena a can of spray paint. They turn Cody over, spray painting the back, NWO. What if? What if going in to Backlash, we have one hell of a contest between these two guys. And at this point, Cena is going to fully embrace his heel persona. He's no longer going to be the people's champion, so to speak. He doesn't give a damn about the people anymore. He gives a damn about being the star, being what's best for business, as he puts it. Nick Aldis, though, in his infinite wisdom, has banned Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre from ringside, telling Cena that these two men will not get involved in their matchup at Backlash. What if? What if during this time they have one hell of a contest, a roller coaster, back and forth? John looks a little better in this outing than he did in the first because he doesn't mind pulling out all the stops. He's breaking the eyes, he's thumbing him, he's doing everything he has to do. But at the end of the day, let's just face it, Cody is one hell of a competitor. And Cody hits the crossroads once again. Just as he goes for the cover, the referee is yanked from the ring. In comes another hooded man who puts a stunner, yanking Cody down with the stunner. He looks at Cena. He drags Cena on top of him. Awakens the ref. 1, 2, 3. And still your WWE champion, John Cena. But who is this masked man? Who is it? Unrobing himself to show he is none other than Kevin Owens. Now, Kevin and Cody surely have their history, but what makes this different is Kevin is sporting an NWO shirt. He throws up the too sweet, an alliance is formed. What if? What if that next week on SmackDown, you have Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and John Cena, and they tell the world they're taking over SmackDown in the WWE. No one is safe. What if over the course of the next few months, you have Rollins and KO winning the World Tag Team Championships, dominating the tag division like only these two men can? Because let's face it, when they're on the same page, these are two of the absolute best. They're studs. What if at the same time, Drew McIntyre, with the help of John Cena, regains the U.S. Championship from none other than L.A. Knight? Yeah. He talked to him all right. Drew McIntyre showed him that he is the man around here and he is the new United States Championship. What if? What if over the course of the next few months they just dominate like no other? Leaving the WWE and SmackDown in despair. They don't know what to do. They need a hero. They need someone to rise to the occasion. They need someone to please put these people in their place. What if on that SmackDown heading into SummerSlam, we hear some familiar music start playing and we get a return of our only tribal chief, Roman Reigns. As Roman begins to ascend to the yard, the crowd stands up and acknowledges him. What if? What if Roman gets in the ring looking at John Cena, Roman with his wise man, and he tells him, you got some of my property on your shoulder right there, and rent's due. I'm here to collect. I'm here to challenge you at SummerSlam. What if? What if going into the matchup along the way, we see the wise man, who is always pulling strings and working, come out of Nick Aldis's office, where he had just secured a deal to make their matchup at SummerSlam a tribal combat match, thus making sure the NWO are not a factor in the match, because Roman can be just as dirty as Cena could be. What if? What if the night of SummerSlam, we get a couple familiar Usos show up, as Sammy, as Jay, and Jimmy all are there at SummerSlam because the Raw Superstars are there as well, and they tell Roman, don't worry about the NWO, Usos. We got you. You take care of business there, we got business here. What if? What if during this matchup, which is tribal combat, we have one hell of a roller coaster, back and forth. This is up and down, it's going. Cena having a very respectful outing, no less. What if? But at the end of the day, let's just face it. Roman is always on a different level. And Roman activates God mode, hitting him with a Samoan drop, then the Superman punch, then the spear. 1, 2, title belt to the back of Roman's head by none other than the wise man himself. What if? What if then Paul Heyman hands John Cena the WWE Championship, where Cena takes Roman to task, hits an attitude adjustment for the real 1, 2, 3. What if? What if that week on SmackDown, Paul Heyman-led NWO arrived to the ring, where Paul Heyman tells everybody he was the mastermind behind the NWO, and he is now the new advocate for the NWO. Because of course, who else could have been pulling the strings from day one? Who else could have secured that John Cena was the last entrant in the Elimination Chamber? Who could have pulled the strings to make his match against Cody Rhodes a no-holds-barred match? Who else but an advocate, and the greatest advocate of all time? If John Cena is the greatest wrestler of all time, surely Paul Heyman would be the greatest advocate. What if? What if over the course of the next few weeks and months to come, our heroes, they put up a valiant effort. They try hard, but let's just face it, at the end of the day, with them not being unified, Roman not having the bloodline on SmackDown as assistants, him and Cody, him and the rest of the guys, Damian Priest, Sami Zayn, them just not being on the same page, they're not getting it done. Week after week, our heroes are just decimated. Heading into Survivor Series and the War Games, the match beyond. What if? What if on this SmackDown, where the War Games is announced, Nick Aldis comes to the ring and calls out Cody Rhodes, telling him, I need you to lead a team that can beat this NWO. I need you to put some order back into this place right here. You have everything at your disposal needed. You just tell me what you need. What if? What if then Cody Rhodes says he knows who he needs and calls out Roman Reigns? Roman comes down. Him and Cody, they've had their ups and downs. They've been on both sides of the fence together and separate. What if? What if they decide they can cast their ill will against each other aside for the betterment of SmackDown and to beat all their foes? What if? What if on this night, Sami Zayn, Damian Priest, and L.A. Knight all join together with Cody and Roman, giving a team of 5 to face this NWO in the War Games, the match beyond? What if? Now, for the first time ever, what are we going to do? What is going on? As Cody tells Paul Heyman and NWO, I needed an alliance, and not just any alliance, a dangerous alliance. Now, this would really piss Paul Heyman off, as those of you know that Paul Heyman's first stable in WCW was the Dangerous Alliance, led by Rick Rude. So this would make a really good spurn into him. He would not be happy about this, as he used to battle Cody's very brother Dustin for years and years with the Dangerous Alliance. So for Cody to adopt this name, this would really piss off the wise man. So now here we are. War Games, the match beyond. You got Cody, you got Roman, Damian Priest, Sami Zayn, LA Knight. On the other side, we got John Cena, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. But wait, they need a fifth member. This is where I need you guys. So for the first time ever, what we're going to do, we're going to make this interactive for the ending. I want you guys to drop in the comments below who you think the fifth member of the NWO would be for this War Games match, and who would be joining the NWO moving forward, and who wins, the NWO or the Dangerous Alliance. I need you guys to drop a comment below, let me know, and we'll see. And like I said, the card is always subject to change.